G'day guys, we wanted to know what's lurking underneath this Toyota Fortuner. We wanted to have a good look and just see if anything's damaged, because as you can see we have used it off-road a fair bit, but just really to get a better understanding of what it's like under here and what you can expect if you're looking to get one. Now the first thing we noticed is it does share a lot in similarity with the Hilux. This cross member forward essentially looks exactly the same. You've got sturdy bash plates. You've got these stone guards here for the shock absorbers and the CV joints, which is a really good idea just for protection. If you go back, this unit slides all the way back. I think I probably, if I was purchasing this car, would look into getting a full bash plate to protect this sump here, which is not exposed, not vulnerable, it's a little bit exposed though, so you don't want to puncture your sump. Now moving back, the DPF you can see is tucked up just like the Hilux. But it's got a really big exhaust. That almost looks like a 3-inch exhaust in this front section, going to about a 2.5 inch to a really big muffler. So it'd be interesting to see how much an exhaust upgrade would actually do to this car, because that's already pretty decent setup from the factory. We've got this plastic actuator, just like the Hilux, which I'm not a fan of personally. It just looks a little bit exposed, but I'm sure you can get a bash plate to protect that, and it's something I'd be looking into. But otherwise, everything's tucked up really, really well. This is a proper off-roader. You can just see everything's placed up high, trying to get it higher than the chassis rail to stop dragging over rocks and things like that. Which you can see this plastic fuel tank's copped a little bit of. It's been scraped on something here, and this is a pretty ineffective little guard, but it obviously does the job. Now, interestingly, we noticed the coils at the back end are actually mounted inside this lower trailing arm. Now often you'd find the coil mounted directly on top of the axle, and they've decided to mount it in this arm, which is a little bit different. Now I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's worth pointing out, and it could be to do with the wheelbase being a bit shorter in this vehicle. Now we've got a massive rear differential. That's huge. It's almost as big as the one in my Patrol. And we've got a guard here for what looks to be the diff lock actuator, which is always good to see, and nice big shock absorbers. So to start with, you've got a pretty competent package that's going to work off-road out of the box, which we found. That's not to say you can't make it a little bit better, because who doesn't want to accessorise their vehicle, right? But this is a really good base to get off-roading pretty cheaply too. These are quite affordable these days. So I'm really impressed with what we've seen here. Now we've just got to get it back out on the tracks.